What if everything alive on Earth, every tree, every whale, every bacterium, every human being came from a single moment of billions of years ago? A moment when chemistry became biology. But here's the terrifying part: science still doesn't know fully how life began on Earth. We know that Earth formed about 4.5 billion years ago. We know the earliest evidence of life appeared at least 3.5 to 3.8 billion years ago. That means somewhere in the ancient world, non living molecules organized themselves into something capable of growth, replication, and evolution. But how? Did life begin in lining filled oceans? Or inside volcanic vents beneath the sea? Or did it arrive from space? Or did RNA, a molecule inside our own cells right now, build the first living systems? Today, we are exploring one of the greatest scientific mysteries ever studied. How did life on Earth begin? To understand the origin of life, we need to travel back in time to nearly 4 billion years ago. The early Earth looked nothing like the planet we know today. There was no forest, no oxygen rich skies, no animals, and no us. Instead, Earth was a violent volcanic world, covered in magma, toxic gases, intense ultraviolet radiations, and constant asteroid impacts. The atmosphere likely contained gases such as methane, ammonia, hydrogen, carbon, nitrogen, and water vapor. And yet, despite these hellish conditions, something extraordinary happened. Chemistry began to organize itself. Scientists believe that early oceans became gigantic chemical laboratories. Energy from lining, volcanic heat, and radiation constantly interacted with these molecules in water. Over millions of years, simple chemicals may have formed more complex organic molecules, which are the buildings and blocks of life. These include amino acids, which are crucial for protein building, lipids, which form all cell membranes, and nucleotides, which form RNA and DNA. But in this section arises a huge question: can lifeless chemistry really create biological molecules on its own? In 1953, scientists actually tried to test this idea. Let's discuss the Miller-Urey experiment. In one of the most famous experiments in biology, two scientists, Stanley Miller and Harold Urey, recreated the conditions similar to early Earth as we discussed. They fired electrical sparks through the gases artificial lining. After only a few days, something incredibly amusing appeared: amino acids, the basic components needed to build proteins, and had formed spontaneously from non-living chemistry. This experiment itself shocked the scientific world because, for the first time, researchers demonstrated that the chemistry of life could emerge naturally under early life conditions. But amino acids alone are not life. A pile of bricks is not a house. Life requires something far more complicated: information, replication, and evolution. Which leads us to one of the strongest modern theories for the origin of life, the RNA World Hypothesis. What is the RNA World Hypothesis? We know that inside every living system and cell on Earth, DNA stores genetic information, and proteins perform most work in our cells. But there's another molecule connecting them both: RNA. And RNA is incredibly strange because it can do two things at once. It can store information like DNA, and in some cases acts like an enzyme, helping chemical reaction to happen. This led scientists to a revolutionary idea. Maybe early life depended entirely on RNA before DNA complex proteins evolved. This is called the RNA World Hypothesis. In this scenario, the first self-replicating molecules may have been simple DNA strands floating in ancient oceans. Some RNA molecules accidentally copied themselves better than others. Natural selection took place, and the most stable and efficient molecules survived longer and produced more copies. In other words, evolution may have started before true cells ever existed. Scientists have discovered special RNA molecules called ribozymes that can catalyze chemical reactions, supporting this theory. Even today, your ribosomes, the structures that build proteins inside cells, still rely heavily on RNA. It's like a fossil from the ancient biological era hidden inside every organism. But RNA has major problem. It is fragile, it breaks down easily, so researchers began asking another question: where could delicate early chemistry survive long enough to become life? One possible answer lies deep beneath the ocean floor, the hydrothermal vents. At the bottom of Earth's oceans are the hydrothermal vents, which are cracks in the crust when superheated water, rich in minerals, escapes from underground. Some scientists believe that life may have started there. These vents create natural chemical gradients and contain minerals rich in iron and sulfur, both important for biological chemistry. Even more fascinating, entire ecosystems exist around these vents today without sunlight. Instead of photosynthesis, organisms use chemosynthesis, obtaining energy directly from chemicals released by these vents. This proves that life does not necessarily require sunlight to survive. Researchers propose that microscopic mineral compartments inside hydrothermal vents may have acted like primitive cells, concentrating organic molecules and protecting them from harsh environment. These tiny chambers could have allowed increasingly complex chemistry to evolve step by step. Some scientists even believe that similar environments could exist on icy moons like Europa and Enceladus today, meaning the origin of life on Earth might help us discover alien life elsewhere in the universe. But there's another theory that goes even further. What if life didn't begin on Earth at all, but it was on space? The theory of Panspermia suggests that the ingredients of life, or even microscopic life itself, may have arrived from space. Meteors have been found containing organic molecules, including amino acids. Some scientists think that comets and asteroids bombarding early Earth could have delivered important chemical ingredients needed for life. There are even microbes on Earth capable of surviving extreme radiation, freezing temperatures, and near vacuum conditions. These organisms, called extremophiles, show that life can survive extreme environments when life seems impossible. However, Panspermia does not actually explain how life began originally. It only moves the problem somewhere else in the universe. If life came from space, then where did that life come from? The mystery still remains. Despite decades of research, scientists still do not know the exact pathway that transformed chemistry into biology. And that's what makes this topic so extraordinary. Every living thing on Earth is connected to a single ancient origin we still cannot fully reconstruct. But science continues getting closer. Researchers are getting artificial protocells, studying self-replicating molecules, exploring deep-sea vents, and searching Mars and icy moons for signs of life beyond Earth. Because if life emerged naturally once, then maybe the universe is filled with life, and maybe somewhere out there another civilization is asking the exact question: how did life begin?